Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
The Kirby on Sports podcast from the Wilkins Athletics and Events Center, previewing Shenandoah men's basketball here with graduate player Davion Roberts at 2-3 guard. First and foremost, thanks for joining us today. I know winter, pretty busy time of year, getting into the winter, obviously, and starting your basketball season, just getting back together with some of the core group of guys. I know you have some newcomers, but some talent that is returning to this Hornets men's basketball team. How does it feel just getting your feet wet, getting ready for the start of the season next month?
Yeah, it feels great. I feel like a lot of people that came back already got better, got bigger, got faster, got stronger, and are ready to contribute. There were some people who didn't really play much last year that are going to be big contributors this year, and I feel like we're ready to take that next step.
So you yourself had a pretty impressive season last year with numerous other players contributing as well. Obviously, just not one player making the difference, but in your mind, just yourself, how did you feel last season went just in your mind?
I feel like it went pretty good. It was a good step for the program. We had our best year in a while. I believe it was 17-9 last season, but I feel like we can do even better this season. We got a lot of people who are ready to buy into their role and do whatever it takes for the team to win. So I think we're pretty excited for that.
And collectively as a team from this past year, the year before, making numerous steps, surpassing numerous milestones that the program hasn't really seen before. What is that to see a program like this in Shenandoah men's basketball trending in the right direction, it seems like, going into this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's great, man. It feels really good. For me, I've been here 6 years, so I've been through it all. I've been through the lows, and now I feel like the program is trending in the right direction. We're recruiting the right guys, and we have people that are ready to contribute, play a role, and be a big piece of what we're trying to build here at Shenandoah. So.
Yeah, so just take me through your offseason, Davion, after last season. What I would imagine some rest, but what was that like for you, just resetting, getting ready for this season, off season wise?
Yeah, so definitely after the season, took a couple weeks, got some rest, and then pretty much got right back into it. Continued to get shots up, working out, hitting the gym, just trying to get stronger, faster, keep my body in shape, to continue to play. So.
So going into the start of camp, preseason camp, moving farther and farther to the start of the season next month. Just take me through again. What's it like being back with your guys and sort of some stuff you have been working on yourself that you sort of want to carry into the start of the season that you've been focusing on most as a player of your caliber?
Yeah, so the guys coming on campus and stuff, that was a very good experience. I felt like it allowed us to gel very quickly, and I feel like we have a very close-knit group this year who, from the starters to the bench, everyone's going to be ready to play. It doesn't matter if they're coming in, coming out, everyone's going to be ready to play and contribute. And I think for me personally, it was a good growth year, and the thing that I'm trying to work on is definitely leadership a little bit. I feel like my leadership style is more of a by actions. I kind of just do what's expected and don't try to do too much. Whereas now I'm trying to become more vocal and kind of voice my leadership to the younger people and other people on our team. So.
What do you think that means to some of the younger gentlemen on your team taking on sort of that leadership role?
Yeah, I mean, I think it means a lot. You can go up to anybody, ask questions, just being available for the younger people and as well as other people just on the team. So I think it's very big for them just to have somebody to come to and kind of speed up that learning process of college basketball for them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just looking all in all, you've been around this program for a while now. Sort of give me your take on the ODAC conference because I know the ODAC in across the board is loaded. So,
Mhm.
just in your mind as a player, what is this ODAC conference like? Because year in and year out, it seems to be a very challenging time when you're facing off against ODAC opponents, which could be a good thing for your team as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this for 6 years now. I feel like this has been the toughest conference in the country. We got always top six, top eight teams are always really, really good teams in this conference. And it's very hard to be competitive. And I feel like now we're kind of taking that step into becoming a competitive team, giving the top teams a run for their money. And we're hoping to kind of flip that around and become those top teams. But the ODAC, I feel like, has always been a top conference in the country. And I feel like it'll remain that way.
You mentioned your teammates, you're gelling well together. How do you feel positively that helps you going into the start of the season in terms of making sure you're on the right track, running the right plays, executing everything to the best of your ability so you can get wins on the scoreboard moving forward?
Yeah, so I feel like it kind of starts with our chemistry. We welcomed all the newcomers with open arms, and the people that were still here, we all gelled together during the summer. So with us welcoming them with open arms, they kind of trusted us, and we trust them as well. So when we're on the court, it's all about trust. So we kind of built that trust from the beginning, and now when we run our plays, when we do things, we trust each other to be in the right spots. And if they're not, we just tell them, and we could tell them in ways that they'll be able to accept it and be there. And um, yeah.
So going back to the ODAC, obviously a question that is answered a lot is about the ODAC preseason poll. In your mind, your team's minds collectively, how much stock do you put into that?
I mean, we don't really put too much stock in it. I mean, it's a lot of like the computer data analyst guys looking at returners and who's coming back, and I mean, they don't like. I guess they don't really see the work that we put in, or they don't really see the people that we've brought in, the chemistry that we have. So we don't really put much stock in it at all, to be honest.
Moving forward towards the start of the season coming up in a little less than a month, you have a pretty big tip off tournament to start off the season. I'd imagine a great way to get the fans in to start the season off, right? But what's that like, sort of getting a tip off tournament to get the season going for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's good. We have two games back to back, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I think it'll be a good start. Kind of bring that environment. I feel like a lot more people have been coming to the games, and we're trying to build something here that's going to last for years to come. So I think this tip-off tournament will be very good for us, and it'll just give the young guys and our older guys an experience that we really haven't had in a while. So.
Yeah, and it seems like years prior to the support of Shenandoah men's basketball and Coach Doyle as well, trying to change the culture around Shenandoah basketball and try to make the basketball games an enjoyable sight to be at, a great time to want to come out and watch Shenandoah men's basketball. Just in your mind, what have you seen in terms of the growth of this program and the fan base that's coming around it?
Yeah, so I'd say in the beginning when I was here as a freshman, we really didn't have much of a support system like that, and I feel like now it's kind of turning around. I've seen the stands way more packed than they've ever been. I feel like we're doing things to kind of bring new fans and bring people around. We're having different nights, having camp night, giving out T-shirts around on game days, and we're just trying to make it more fun. We have the starting lineups with the lights turned off. One time we did courtside seats, so we're just trying to innovate and just allow the fans to have more fun and kind of be more interactive with them. So.
You must be pumped for the season to get underway with all this practice. Are you ready to get out there and get some live ball rolling?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Yeah, we got our scrimmage tomorrow, and yeah, man, we're ready to go. So.
Oh, so scrimmage. You brought up a good point there. You have some scrimmages. Sort of in your mind, what do you sort of take away from scrimmages? I know it's against a different opponent, and sort of what personally do you try to take away from scrimmages, and what do you try to work on the most?
I think it's just a time where we can kind of run and execute our plays against another team. You know, we always run it against each other, and obviously we know our plays, so it's a little bit harder to score. But when we run our plays against other teams who don't know our plays, it's a good chance for us to work on execution, work on our bonding, and just work on the stuff that we've been working on in practice.
Davion Roberts with me, Shenandoah men's basketball tipping off with the Tip-Off Classic, less than a month away. Really appreciate your time, sir, and best of luck to you the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Shenandoah University men's basketball tipping off less than a month away. The Kirby on Sports podcast out here at the Wilkins Athletics and Events Center with the head coach of the Shenandoah Hornets on the men's basketball side, Nick Doyle. And Coach, thanks for having us out another season, getting ready to tip off here at Shenandoah University.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having us, man. I love what you're doing, and we love having you around and just talking about our guys and our program. I'm really excited about what we have, some things that we have going on, and you're just a big part of moving us forward.
From day one, when you step foot on this campus, it seems like your message in what you're trying to do with this program is actually working in a positive way. Just take me through collectively what the past couple of years has been like for you here.
Well, I appreciate you thinking that. We're still a long way from where we want to be. But I think, when we stepped on campus, the first thing was just trying to build that trust, that sense of community, and that family atmosphere of our program. Taking over a program that, wasn't as successful as you hoped to be, and then being able to hopefully turn it around as quickly as we've done and continue that success, it's not easy to do. And we're still not there yet. But I think we've been very fortunate to have a great group of guys really buy into what we're trying to do. And, I think last year you saw it start to pay off for a little bit. And I'm excited to see, can we continue that?
So, I mean, just off the court, it seems like the fan base is coming out supporting you all, which we've talked about on numerous different occasions from that aspect. And I feel like it's still growing from that point. You're just getting out of the community, letting them know who you all are, the product you're getting out there. And from that aspect, that seems to be paying off as well with the fans that come out and pack the stands here.
No, absolutely. We're so thankful that everybody's been able to kind of rally behind us. But I give credit to our guys. They've been able to play an exciting brand of basketball. When people come out, you have to have a good product on the court, but then they also have to be good people. And having our guys in the community, learning about other businesses. I mean, we even have guys that coach local middle school teams now. And that's really, really cool to see. So I think we're still a long way from where we want to be, but it's just refreshing and it's really rewarding, when we play our first game in here November 9th, and, hopefully we're going to play in front of a packed house because people enjoy being around our guys, but they love watching them play. That's something, building that community in Winchester is something that's really important to us.
So last season, having a really successful season, I believe 17-9 your record was, but seems like you're putting up stuff, breaking numerous milestones that this program hasn't seen in quite some time, just in general. And just looking at that and what you're putting together here, stuff like that. What does that mean for you so far that you're doing stuff like that?
It's definitely rewarding, from going from 7 wins our first year to 17 last year and winning our first ever playoff game and, being right there in overtime to advance, for the first time ever. It makes you work a little bit harder. And I think the best thing that could have happened to us probably in building this program was our team losing in overtime, in the quarterfinals and the playoffs last year. Now we have a team that's extremely hungry, but now they understand what it takes to win. We hadn't been to that point yet. And I think that's going to, down the line, you're going to look at that moment and say, that's where it all changed. So I'm just excited that we can continue that. It's hard to stay, consistent like that, but that's something that I think this group is trying to work for every single day.
And with the success that you've had, how do you sort of keep your program in focus, in check, maybe some outside noise with maybe some higher expectations this season in that regard?
Oh, we're just really honest. We're brutally honest with our guys. And, yes, we won a couple games, but we haven't done anything yet. The goal at the end of the day is to try to win championships, and we haven't done that. We haven't got over that hump, but we just try to stay as humble as possible and just really try to get better every single day at the things that we can control, right? Nothing else matters but getting better on the court, being a great teammate, and just, you got to just, when you get out there and the lights are on, you got to perform, and whatever happens, happens, but you played as hard as you can.
Absolutely. So obviously the off season, not getting to where you want to be, but making some great strides. Obviously, as you take that into the off season, just take me through collectively how your off season went. I know getting on the recruiting trail is a big part of Shenandoah men's basketball as well, trying to find the right pieces that you want to come play for your program. Just take me through overall what your off season has been like so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, recruiting is a huge piece of it. If you don't have the players, then it really doesn't matter what you're doing. They control really your success if you can put them in the right spots. And I feel like we got very fortunate. We brought in 7 freshmen and 2 transfers that I think all make us better. I think it's an extremely competitive group that, this year you'll see some of them new guys contribute, some at a high level, some will have to be patient, but, from top to bottom, I'm really pleased with that recruiting class we had, which is really our second true recruiting class.
Yeah, so looking at the recruiting class, some of the younger talent coming in your mind, and going into preseason camp, start of practice, getting ready for the season, what has that been like in your mind, getting the whole team together? And well, I spoke to Davion earlier. He said that it seems like this team is gelling together very well so far.
Absolutely. I'd say the most pleasing thing as a coach so far is just the chemistry that they have together. There's not a day that they're not all together doing something, whether it's on the court, off the court. Just to see them when they come into practice, dap each other up, smiling, laughing. It's really, really cool to see. And I feel like in year 3, we finally got it to that point. We got the right guys in the right spots. And I think that you can't have success without the chemistry. So really excited to see the steps that they take. It's just going to be, really rewarding that if they can keep working how they are, and if they get a chance to, achieve some things that have never been done here, just how special it'll be, because this could be a special group.
And what have you been preaching, working on the most this preseason practices leading up to the start of the season, less than a month away, that you're liking so far and you want to take into your scrimmages coming up and evolve that to make it better going into your first set of games?
Yeah, well, I think this group plays really, really hard, right? And you don't have a chance to have success without that. But we play really hard, and we're really harping on our discipline and our details. If we can put that together with playing as hard as we possibly can, then this group has a chance to be special. I think compared to last year's team, I think we have, I'd say, more weapons. I think we have more guys that can do a lot more things in different positions. But I think we finally have a group that's really bought into the defensive side of the ball. And when you come watch us play, you're going to see 94 feet of pressure. You're going to see guys to 9 getting in passing lanes. We want to get tips and go get a dunk, get the crowd into it. But you're just going to see a team that's committed to, trying to be perfect on both ends of the floor, and just let's see what happens.
So you had a lot of playmakers, as you mentioned, offensively. And are you saying trying to get the defense complementary to the offense, so you're flipping the court essentially to try to make those plays happen? What is that like in your mind? Just take me through that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you don't defend in the ODAC, you don't have a chance to win. And it's college basketball. Everybody wants to be able to score, but the teams that can defend, and have discipline and just don't beat themselves, those are usually the teams that advance. So it's teaching everybody everything that goes into that defensive side, and being in the right spots and communicating. And it's still a long way to go, but you can see flashes of it. When there's a certain group out there, certain pieces together, that get it. You can see pieces of just a really strong physical defensive team, that we're hoping it just can kind of take over. That's our brand of basketball that we want moving forward.
And the question I'll ask you next, I know it hasn't came out yet, but the ODAC preseason poll, how much stock do you put into that? Is that really a concern in your mind, or you just put the best brand of basketball out there and just let everybody see what your program's made of?
I don't think it matters at all. At the end of the day, let's be honest, it's the coaches voting on it. You can't vote for yourself. That's how it works. And nobody really cares about it. I'm sure the guys can use it as motivation. If we're not going to be picked high, but we're not a secret anymore, right? But for us, it's just if you get better every single day, and now we feel like we are one of the top teams. Whether we're picked at or not, who really cares? but you got to go out and prove it every night. So I think for us, it's just it's cool if you do get picked high. It's motivation if you don't, but if you don't go out there and prove it, it really doesn't matter.
So going to the start of the season, tipping things off with a big tip-off tournament. I've heard a lot of talk about that, you and me especially, and getting a tip-off tournament to start the season. Sort of take me through what that's like, setting that up and having sort of a tournament like that here at Shenandoah.
Yeah. It's a lot that goes into it. I don't think people realize that, but it's a lot that goes into it. Me and my staff have been able to really find a lot of support for it. So we'll have the Winchester Sports Medicine Team Tip-Off Classic. Very fortunate to have some sponsors that, willing to help our program. And it's just going to be a really special day. We're going to have, Eastern versus Roanoke College play before us, and then we'll have our opening night Saturday night. And, we'll play SUNY Geneseo, and it'll be a good test. But then the next night we come back, and play Eastern. So it's going to be really exciting. I don't think Winchester's had that type of a college basketball event in a long time. And to be able to host our own tip-off tournament in a packed house, I'd say it's going to be 2 really good games both days. I think that can just go a long way with helping expand basketball in Winchester and getting more people more excited about what we have built.
And in general, just your season, take a look at your schedule. How do you like the strength of your schedule this year? And it seems like the same. You have some ODAC sprinkled here and there, but the back end of the season, ODAC heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a really good schedule. I think we've got very fortunate with just how the chips fell, that we got some really good teams on our schedule. And, I just like all the opportunities that we have. I think it fits us, the time frames and everything. And, the strength of the schedule, the ODAC is brutal. I think last year we had 5 teams ranked in the top 25, us included, for the first time ever. And so you're going to play teams that can make it to a Final Four, can win a national championship. Night in and night out, if you're not ready to go in the ODAC, it's a tough day, right? So I think, the ODAC just provides that strength of schedule that nobody else in the country can. And you just have to be ready to play it.
I'm sure you're itching for these bleachers to come down and fans in the stands ready for some good, meaningful basketball. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. It's the best time of the year. I can't even sleep at night now just thinking about, what our team has to do to get better. And, just for them, that opening day is just exciting to me, to see them run out and to see the support that they've got, just from all the fans and the community to be at the game, because they've earned that. And it's just, it makes me feel really good to see them kind of benefit and feel that reward. But we got to take care of business. You come out here and you take a loss on your home floor, it's a tough thing to bounce back from. But just really excited about what we have building and, the group that we have. I think it could be really, really special if we can put all the details and, just the fundamentals together to go into winning.
Shenandoah University men's basketball tipping off their season less than a month away. Always gracious, first time the head coach of the Hornets on the men's basketball side, Nick Doyle. I'm sure this will not be the last time we chat throughout the season, but really appreciate your time and best of luck to you this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Go Hornets.